All right.
Uh-oh.
Welcome, welcome to the Black Artists Connected Writers podcast. I am one of your hosts, Kinte, all the way live from Los Angeles, California, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Imani Williams. How you doing, Imani?
I am good. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. There's so much going on. I'm just really happy, and anytime I can chop it up with you, Imani, I'm very happy. And we have a lovely guest that's coming on in a few, uh, lovely Queen, and we're gonna chop it up with her. But before we do that, I want to kind of get an overview of the group and what's been going on and what's been going on with yourself. So go ahead, Imani, tell us.
Well, Writers Black Art Connected is just doing wonderful things as always. We have just over, I think, 8,500 members, um, and starting to pay a lot more attention to what that waiting list looks like so people aren't having to wait as long to get in and get involved. And as always, we have a monthly writing challenge that is pinned by a group member. We take volunteers for that, and it's a wonderful way to get daily writing. It's a wonderful way to get daily writing prompts and really push yourself. When people volunteer to write the monthly writing challenge, um, they know that they are going to be tasked with coming up with some questions um, that require some thought, that require some critical thinking, and as always, are tuned into what's going on with Black people. So I just stay proud of WBAC and the engagement that we share as a community, how we help each other, how we push each other, and I love seeing posts with people saying that they were just published or that they got out of their writing stick where they were just frozen and couldn't write. They pushed past the writer's block with the help of the group, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful community. And so I once again, Kente, I thank you for um, providing a platform not just for writers but for all of the Black arts.
Well, thank you. I appreciate all the kind words, and I appreciate all the hard work that you do. As someone who I write screenplays, and I'm so inspired by the people in our group that put in this good work. And it's you have writers from all different levels. So if you're a
Right.
novice writer like myself, you're good. If you are an expert, excellent writer like Sister Imani is,
Well,
you're
there's
good
people
as
in
well.
there that's way more accomplished than I am. It is, but it is a diverse group of writers. But there's something to learn every day if you come in and engage. And it's not just me. You know, I have a wonderful team of um, co-people who help keep that group going. So I want to shout out to Red Caesar, um, Shannon Ford Jefferson, Montego Ware, and TJ Love. And because without them, I couldn't do all that I do. It is definitely a group and a team effort. We have a wonderful group of admin staff, and we look forward to growing it as we grow.
Yeah, and big shout out to Red Caesar. It's been a minute since I've had a chance to chop it up with the brother, but he's been around since the beginning, and
Yes, my
I
guy.
I want to definitely give him a shout out. And also, if you are watching on YouTube Live, we don't have the audio only. I know it says that in the event. We only have the video, but we'll have the audio later. Um, Please let your voice be known by saying hello in our chat on the YouTube page. I see Romer Hodges, and I also see Carl Nicholas as well in the chat. So if you're in the chat and you're watching on YouTube Live right now, let us know that you're with us, and we'll give you a shout out.
Hey, Romero.
So,
Romero's been around since day one. What's up, brother? Thank you, Carl. Thank you for tuning in too.
and before we get really deep into the show, I gotta say we gotta address a couple of things. One today is 420. Now, I've never smoked a day in my life, but I know that is a big day for a lot of people
Woo
out there.
woo! 420.
So big shout out
Absolutely.
to all you people celebrating today, as if they don't celebrate every day 420.
But we want to make sure too, and thank you for bringing that up, that this day is remembered too for all the black and brown bodies that are doing seriously hard time across this great nation for dime bags, while other people, non-melanated people, white people, are on their third generation, some of them with their grow farms. They have put children through college. They have bought lake homes and vacationed all around the world with proceeds from cannabis profits. So until it is legalized and deregulation is for real across the board, we have to fight for people's rights, because it's not okay for people doing hard time for dime bags while other people are becoming billionaires. And trust me, if you look on LinkedIn right now, a third of the ads are for cannabis companies and businesses.
That's right.
So
That's sure.
let's get in where we fit in.
Yeah, and also we gotta point out the lovely earrings that you have on
Oh my
today.
goodness, thank you. Thank you. Yes, actually on this I am having a sale the entire month of April. So you got a lot of still have another month to get in before Mother's Day. I sell Afrocentric jewelry. Catch me at Imani is Love on Instagram. That's IMANIIZLOVE. Handcrafted wood earrings, and these happen to be double sided. All
Wow,
right.
beautiful.
Thank
Uh,
you.
and a couple of more shout outs. We have Alexis Childress and Mikhail Akbar, who says he wants to be a part of the group. So what I'll do is flash the um, the group information in there. Let me see, so that if you want to join the group, you can do so. So here we go.
And I'm just looking down. I'm trying to get to my YouTube on my phone so I can see what's going on too.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah. So if you want us to acknowledge your presence, let your presence be known on the YouTube live chat, and we will definitely give you guys a shout out. If you have any questions too, or if you want to call in, the number is 323-522-4601. Once again, that's 323-522-4601. And if you want to come on the show visually, all you got to do is drop your email in the chat and say you want to come on, and we will make that happen. If you want to come in and ask a question or whatnot, we have our guest that will be joining us in a moment, lovely Queen, and we're gonna chop it up with her and talk a lot about what she's been up to, what she got coming out, and that should be a lot of fun. Uh, so but before we do that, before we get to our guests and whatnot, um, you know, we have 2018. We're about 4 months into it, and we have so much that we're gonna do in the upcoming months. But before we talk about what we're gonna do in the future, let's talk about what's happened in the group. I know that you guys have had a meetup. You guys are constantly challenging each other to write and to and also you guys are. I want people to understand that this group is not a group if you're not on a certain level where they'll make fun of you or make you feel like you don't belong. It's a very welcoming group, and from whatever level that you are. Now, as the main administrator of the group, kind of talk about how welcoming the group is and how you guys help each other out.
Extremely welcoming. One of my co-administrators, Shannon, a long time ago, she started when we were welcoming new people in. Whenever somebody would say, "Hi, I'm new," she would say, "Welcome to our picnic in the park." And I think that's quite descriptive of how welcoming we are. It really does not matter where you are in the writing process. If you have never published, if you have never even written in a journal, but what's going on in the group, is catching your eye. Maybe it's poetry, um, maybe it's a cipher. It doesn't matter. There is something here for everyone. And so people are encouraged because we do post openings for jobs. We post fellowships and internships and writing residencies. So people can kind of pick and choose, based on where they are and where they aspire to be, different activities and venues that will encourage and grow their writing. And I think that is pretty heavy and a really good reason to look into WBAC. There's no shaming. Um, there are a lot of people who express that they are introverts when they come in and that they don't like to share or that they've never shared their work. And they are encouraged to do so. We don't push you, we don't beat you up if you don't, but we encourage you and we say, when you're ready, we're here, tag me, and I'll make sure some other people read your work. And
Mm.
so we're continuously every day playing it forward, so that people feel comfortable enough to share their work and share their feelings on writing and maybe why they are having issues with what they're writing or whatever, because organically we have grown into um, kind of a peer help group as well, which I think is different from a lot of writing groups. We write through depression, we write through um, suicidal ideology, we write through also the good times, relationships and getting married and welcoming children and, understanding that ancestors have gone on to another plane and we are there as a family to encourage our members and each other. And that's what we do.
Yes. Well, thank you for your work, and thank you to all the members. And 2018 is
Definitely.
going to be another banner year. Before we introduce our guests, I want to give a shout out to Trini Doll. How you doing, Trini Doll? And thank you for joining us.
That's
All right,
little sis Vanna. What's up, sis?
all right, all right. So let's do this. Our guest is here, so I want to welcome to our guest to our show, Miss Lovely Queen. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
All right, thank you for joining us.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So, we always like to start from the beginning. So, where are you from originally?
Originally from California.
Oh, okay, all right. Where in California? LA.
Yes, South Central. Born
All
and
right.
raised, ninth in Normandy. By the Slauson Swap Meet.
I
Woo
was
woo.
there. I was there a couple of weeks ago. I'm from Los Angeles as well. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's what's
What
up.
part?
West LA, Pico, Fairfax area.
Okay, okay. Not far.
Yeah, not too far. Now, what high school did you go to? If you don't mind me asking.
I actually went to Hollywood High. I went for performing arts. But I really didn't like high school, so I ended up getting going, leaving, and going to like homeschool. So
Mm.
yeah.
So you were
So
one of those people that knew at a young age that you wanted to be some sort of artist.
oh yeah, actually I started my grandmother like at the age of 7. I started playing. I got introduced to playing piano, so she had a private teacher come to me and stuff. And then eventually, she's put me into a music magnet in elementary. So from elementary, pretty much to high school, I went to like music schools.
Now, what kind of music did you listen to growing up mainly?
Growing up, well, my granny was very into gospel,
Mhm.
so I listened from the Temptation. I mean, from what is it, Shirley Caesar to um, old school R&B, like Temptations, and then as I was young, we had like Short Dog and Crisscross and stuff like that. Pretty much. And then when I was taking piano lesson, of course, I was learning classical music. That's originally where I started, like Mozart and stuff like that. So I started playing piano. The first song I played was probably Fairy Lease, which is classical.
Mhm.
Is it me or does it seem like millennials don't appreciate the music that came from before, or do I have it wrong? But it seemed like when we were coming up, we listened to music, not from just our generation. I mean, our music might have been from our generation that we really, really like, but we could
Yeah.
appreciate music that came before. It doesn't seem like that's the case anymore.
Well,
You agree with that?
I'm not gonna say that because I have an 18-year-old and my daughter. She's been introduced. She listens to music from Japan. Like she don't
Oh
even
wow.
know. She's learning different languages, and so she listens to all kind of music. So I don't want to say that. And even my 10-year-old, I feel maybe if it's introduced to them, whether young or old, I mean, then they'll listen. But I know a lot of younger kids, people in their 20s, people younger than that, that do listen to our music. I think what we're hearing is being portrayed by, of course, media and what we hear on the radio and stuff like that. But I really believe that the younger generation do have an appreciation for old school music, because if it wasn't for old school music, then we wouldn't have new school music. And so I
Oh.
think
Mhm.
they're learning more and more now. Probably a few years ago, I'm not sure, but now I think I'm seeing more and more young people have appreciation, and even some of the songs that they're using is from old school. They getting it from
Mhm.
old school. They just put their little twang on it and make it new school. But yeah, I just think if they're introduced to it, by their parents or grandparents or, aunties and uncles, then they'll, listen to it and appreciate it.
I always said that I don't have any children, but I said if I did, what I would do is I would take one of those earbuds and just put it in my baby's mother's belly button so I can pump the music in so I can brainwash them into liking good music by the time they come out,
Well,
I
yeah,
feel like
still can. You don't necessarily have to do that. But like when I was pregnant with my kids, I was, well, because I play piano, I just play piano. So I think like when my first oldest, cause she cried a lot, what I would do, cause I tried everything, driving around the corner, all that, none of that worked. So what I did was I ended up putting her in her car seat, just set her in her car seat, set her next to me, and start playing. And I promise, I like she loved it. You know what I mean? And I think that did come from me when I was pregnant with her.
Where'd you go?
The music I would sing, sometimes I would take my headphones and put it to my stomach, and not just, it would be different types of music. And I think that's why now she appreciates all kind of music. I'll be hearing her listening to, like I said, China, music from Japan artists that don't even speak English. I'm like, what is that? But I listen to it and I feel like, okay, well that's actually dope. I don't know what they're saying, but, but I actually
Mhm. We have you. Are you with us, Imani? It seems like
Yes,
you're
I can
working.
hear you.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
hey
Yeah.
Hey, sis.
So, talk about Imani. Talk about how you first came across this young lady, and your relationship to this young lady.
Well, this is my sister. Let's see.
sis.
Gosh, we go back to the beginning of WBAC.
Yep.
Actually, so um, I got to Vegas like right ahead of her, and then when she came, and Vanna, who was in the chat, we just started like doing open mics together and hanging out and just playing with words and music, really. Because if Lovely is there, it's gonna be some music. And
Yep.
so we just started, kind of hitting the spots around here, a little bit around Vegas, and looking forward to doing some more of that. But in the middle of all of that, um, comes why we brought her on the show today. Um, and I'm gonna let you introduce that. But I just think, as I've always told her, since we've met in person, that it was all in divine order. Because she swears that, she is not a writer. She's just a musician. And I say bull to that. I call bull. You're an artist that includes writing. You're a poet. And so when I see her post poetry, I just get excited because I know it's gonna either be about love or it's gonna be about revolution, which is still about love, right? Self love, love for Black people, and her voice is so strong and powerful. And then when you add the music to that, so I'm gonna let you introduce it. I just want to wait a minute because I have some things to say about that too.
Mm. So yeah, let's talk about your brand new project. For those who may not know, kind of give us a insight to the genesis of it and what we can expect to hear on your latest project.
So thirsty.
I'm sorry if I didn't hear what you said. I had got a call first.
Oh, I was saying, I was saying to if you could tell us about your latest project and the genesis of it and what we can expect to hear when it's released.
Okay. Well, the album is called Unspoken Love, and basically how this is my vision. Because I noticed, you know, everybody it's so many divisions of music. As far as we got the R&B, we got the neo soul, we got this, that, and the third. Me, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to bring spoken word, spoken word music, R&B and neo soul, and also hip hop. I wanted to merge them all because really they're all one and the same. It's just different ways of saying it. It's just different ways of delivering it. And my thing was I wanted to bring all different types of artists together. You know what I mean? Just to unify music. I feel like music nowadays is so separated. Everybody, I do hip hop, I do this. I
Mm.
mean, really, we do it all because we can all do. If you can do hip hop, you can sing. You may not be able to necessarily as far as sing, but you can sing. You know what I mean? Because nowadays they're doing it in hip hop. They're merging the singing and the hip hop, together, whether it's auto tune or whatever the case might be. But and then also bring the spoken word aspect because really that's what songs are. Songs to me are is poetry just being sung. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Just like hip hop is poetry. It's just being rapped. You just saying it a different way.
Mhm.
So I want to bring a lot of different artists and join them all together just to create something different. Something refreshing. Because to me, it's a time and a place for everything. Not to say that the new school music doesn't have a place because it does. But I think at the same time, we've gotten away from real, old school love, wanting to embrace love, type of music. Everything is division, seems like it's division, so much negativity in music. Not to say all of it is, but because it's not. But a lot of music that I've heard now is not representing love. It's more of a division. Let me go get a home. I need two girls, or let me go get somebody else, or it's okay to cheat. It's okay to, do all these things. When really, to me, it's dividing us. While everyone else is in love. we are separated and we are always pointing fingers at each other. And so I want to create something where I can bring everybody together as a whole, and being able to really appreciate music and love at the same time. And I just look at it as a negative thing, but as a positive thing. It's okay to love. Everybody's, scared of it, but want it at the same time. And I want people to know that love is beautiful. And it's just that, we always tend to blame things on love. Oh, well, this happened because I was in love. No, things happen because people make them happen.
Mhm.
Love is what it is. Love is just it. Love is love. Love is unconditional. So, you know, we have to learn how to take accountability for our actions. And I feel like just listening to good music, because music speaks to every generation and everybody. It doesn't matter where you're from on this earth. Listening to good music and being able to understand good music, even if you don't even speak the language,
Mm.
but you can understand the music. You know what I mean? So I feel like music is very powerful. I feel like that is my gift to the world. And so I wanted to create this project um, for those reasons, really.
Oh, that is so beautiful, and I totally agree with you that we've kind of gotten away from that, and anything that we can do to add to that, I think that's in a positive way. That
Right.
message is definitely needed. Um, now, is would you say this album is really personal? Do you go into more of do you talk about love in the broad sense, or do you talk about it as from a personal sense, like using some maybe experiences you've had in the past and present?
But in particular, um, it's there's many aspects of love. I mean, because there's passionate songs on here where it's more intimate love. Then there's aspects where there's peace and peaceful love. There's aspects where people are speaking of just being in a relation and once loved. You know what I mean? So it's very diverse when it comes to speaking about love. I didn't want to just have it one specific category. I wanted it to be about love in general. I mean, which you could have been about, loving your dog. That would have been fine. My thing was just speak about love and what love means in our own way. You know,
It's very interesting, and it's obviously a great topic and something that we definitely should talk about. But I'm really curious to talk about your writing process when it comes to penning these songs specifically for this record. Did you have some material maybe from the past, or were these all done in one writing session uh, when you were putting this record together?
well, see, for this particular album, my thing was mainly doing production, so it wasn't necessarily writing because most of the artists wrote,
Hmm.
what they felt to the songs that I produced. And when I produce the songs, I produce off of emotion. So whatever emotion that I may be feeling, or things that I'm going through, just are things not even necessarily things that I go through, but things that I see other people go through. So when like most of these songs on here are very melodic, so I left it up to the pretty much the artist, whatever they felt off of the song, whatever, they felt to the song, then, I let them be free with that. But what I did do was the songs, it's crazy because the songs that I did give to the artist were meant for the artist. Even like, because I've had people, this album has been a true journey to say the least, but even some people that we had to part ways or whatever. Even when I gave that song to the other individual, it's funny because that song was still meant for them, that person. You know what I mean? I feel like each song on the album and the person that has that, wrote and sung or whatever they may have did to the song was meant for them, you know what I mean? So it fit them like perfectly.
Hmm.
Now, Imani, you said you had something to talk about this specifically.
Well, I wanted to talk about, since we are talking about unspoken love, how wonderfully, lovely matched up my piece with her music. Um, and my piece for this project is erotic poetry. And when you talk about process, it took me a long time to get to the point where I could write erotica. So without feeling like my mother was looking over my shoulders. And so this poem for me is flirty, is fun. Um, People in the group, because I write on my celibacy run and I'm in my 8th year. So when you hear this poem and it's called Riding the Rhythm, and the sexual connotation is definitely real in there, and the metaphors used in there were purposefully chosen um, to go with that title. And what sis did with that music, with that, man, she made some magic. So I'm probably as excited, if not more, than both Lovely and everybody else that participated in this project. Um, the going into the studio was bomb, and we started out at my apartment, and I did my piece and Vanna did her piece, and we kind of played off of one another, and I'm just seeing growth in myself as a writer. I'm claiming poet now in addition to essayist. um, Vanna is multi genre with her writing. She does poetry, fiction and nonfiction. It does not matter. She tears it down, and um, I don't know. It's just wonderful, and I can't wait to hear the album in its entirety and hear all the poetry on there and all the love that's on there. And it was just really special to be a part of this project, Unspoken Love. And so I just got fingers crossed and toes and got my chakras on, that it just moves forward as it's supposed to, and um, that we just get to celebrate it with a listening party, right? In person, sis.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, right
yeah.
now.
All right, that's what it's all about. Um, I'm glad that you talked about the writing process, Imani, because um, I've never tried to. I mean, well, I've tried to write songs before. I'm not a songwriter at all, and I can be honest with you. It seemed like when you start writing, it be sounding corny, right? So how do you know? Like, do you rely on someone else to like give you advice on how it's coming along, or do you just know your stuff? Because I swear, when I tried to write a song for something, for a script that I was writing, and it just always seemed corny to me. Like I could never get over that hump or whatever. So I mean, how do you know, like, okay, that you're on the right track when it comes to writing a song or whatever?
Sis, I think that was for you.
That's for you, yeah, lovely. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, writing, so it's writing. I don't know. It's like music to me, like because a lot of times, like I freestyle songs, so I freestyle songs, I freestyle melodies, I freestyle all of that. It just is something that comes to me. You know what I mean? It could be from past experiences, but a lot of times, when I write on things that I saw, things that I've been through, um, things that I want to go through, things, you know. So it's just all about how I'm feeling at the time, and the easy process for me when it comes to writing, because when I hear a melody, you know what I mean, that helps me. So usually what I'll do is I usually make the melody first, and then if I'm writing a song, then I'll create the song based off how I feel with it when I'm hearing the song. Because like I said, I like a lot of I make a lot of um, melodic type music. I like different sounds, and because I know frequencies, I know how it makes people feel. I know, how frequencies can affect what you hear. You know what I mean? So I take all that into consideration when I make music, because I want people to be drawn to my music positively,
Mhm.
versus when they hear music, people, because you can hear songs, and songs can bring back memories, not necessarily positive memories, but can make you go to a negative place. Me, I prefer to bring more positive frequencies and more positive tones, engaging tones, passionate tones. Um,
Mhm.
something that makes you, when you hear it, you're like, yes, you know what I mean? Like, yes, I'm feeling that. Okay, it puts you in a positive space more so than in a negative.
Now, do you like to perform live?
Do I like to perform? You know what? I'm actually getting used to it. I'm still getting used to it. Because I guess I'm used to being behind the scenes. That's, I guess, where when it comes to my music, you know what I mean. What's funny is because I know a lot of people, you know what I mean, and I talk to a lot of people, but when it comes to I guess performing, I'm still adjusting to it. I'm getting more used to it though, but and I'm starting to like it more. Now that I'm older, and I guess now that I understand it all, I'm more confident. You know what I mean? I'm not really caring about what anybody's thinking. I'm just loving the moment that I'm in right at that time. So I have an appreciation for it more so now
Mhm.
than when I was younger.
So when can we get our hands on your new album?
Man, I have been sick, so it's and with the what I've been diagnosed with, it's kind of put a little, because it's a up and down thing. So it's, 1 minute I could be feeling like, right now I'm feeling fine, but earlier today I've been pretty much sleep. Literally, I probably was slept from like 10 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like I just, it just has me up and down. So it's kind of been kind of hard for me to get to the studio, which what I'm going to do, I refuse, I'm going to fight for this week, sometime this week, hopefully sometime, it may be during the week, or this no later than this Sunday. I plan on finishing this album, because really the only thing I have to do is finish mixing and mastering it. I have like probably about 7 songs, then it's done. And once I have it done, then I'll have my real, because I've already signed up for everything. I have to, once I upload the music, then it'll provide me a release date. So I don't have a release date yet, but I'm expecting, I'm going to say probably in the no more than 2 to 3 weeks, I want to say this album will be out for sure. Like I said, I'm going to, if I got to go over there, medicate it up, I'm going to get this finished this week. Like, because not only for myself, I just feel like, because I have so many talented artists that's on here. It's what, about four? It's 15 of us.
Mhm.
It's 15. And they've been so patient, working through, my illness, and just working through, the ups and downs of this whole thing. Because really, most people, most artists take anywhere from a year to 2 years to drop a full blown album, especially with this many songs. Um, and I'm trying to cram it in. I've been trying to cram it in, and it's been like what 4 months now, about
Mm,
three
end of
months.
January. Yep.
So yeah, so and we, everybody has been great. Like I said, it's been a journey. It's been some good days and bad days, but we've made it through. And so now I feel like okay, I have to get this done, not just for me, but for all of the artists that you know have participated in this art, and really, it's like now, like even I don't even like to say artists because I consider them all now as all family. Talk mess, we got a whole little group. We build bonds with each other, and that's what I wanted. Like even outside of me, other people have created bonds with other people that they never probably would have even met. You know what I mean? Or you know, if we did not do this. So, and that's my thing. That's going to continue to be my thing. Just like with after this album, probably sometime next year. I'm not gonna put no pressure on me. I plan on doing a hip hop reggae album. You know what I mean? And then
Mm.
I'm not keeping it in one genre. I like my first album, Dreams of My Piano, was an all instrumental, pretty much jazz neo soul
Beautiful.
type album. This album right here, like I said, is a hip hop, neo soul, R&B, spoken word album. The next one will be reggae, hip hop, and then after that, I actually plan on doing uh, pop and like dance, uh, like techno, or and dubstep type of album. So I don't ever want to be put in a box. I feel like music, when you put yourself in a box, it limits you. I,
Mm,
all musicians, as a whole, um, can do something new and just step outside of the box, and appreciate each type of art. Like me, I love all kinds of art, you know, from being music to writing, to art, drawing, to sculpting, to fashion. I just love creators. Whatever you create is an art, whatever it is. And so I
Mm.
have appreciation for all art.
Well, well, I want to thank you so much for coming on, and thank you so much for creating and sharing your art with not only our group but the world. And I'm looking forward to your project. And what I want to do is, um, I want to all of our group members, whether it be in the Black Artists Connected Writers Group or any of our subgroups or the main group, Black Artists Connected, we need to we need to make sure that we support our members and support this sister when her album comes out. And what we'll do is when the album comes out, I will purchase an album and we'll have some sort of giveaway or something like that. But I want people to go out and buy it and
Oh,
support so that so that we should be able to drive ourselves up quite a bit. It's enough. It's a lot
sorry.
of us. It's a lot of us. So we should be able to drive young ladies' sales up, and we just need to support each other. So I want to take a moment to once again in the chat room we have Sage, we have Oyen. Hopefully I said that name right,
Mhm.
and we have Tachi. How you doing, Tachi? And welcome to our chat room, and thank you for so much for coming. All right, so how can we get when it does come out? Where will it be available at? Will it be on iTunes, Amazon? Or...
yeah, it's gonna be everywhere on iTunes, on Tidal. It's gonna be on Amazon. Um, and it's also gonna be on my website. It's gonna be on CD Baby. Um, Yeah, it'll pretty much be on most of the sites like that. And I'm actually trying to get it on Pandora. I'm gonna submit to it because Pandora is so they're very picky
Mm.
and very particular. So I'm definitely shooting to get this on Pandora. Uh, beautiful thing, so many. It's honest, so it can be on there, several different places. So I'm definitely gonna shoot for that
Mm.
and send it to them.
Will you have any music videos with it?
You know what? Actually, I do plan on trying to create something. I'm thinking of how how it can be done because I will really want a video with all of us, but I know we're all so spread out, and it kind of makes it different, but it can be done. So I'm got some ideas in my head. I'm trying to learn. Hopefully, we'll definitely have some visuals um soon.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay. So I want to once again thank you so much for coming on our program. And how can we get you on social media and tell us your website?
Okay, definitely. Well, of course, on Facebook is also have pages which is Index Music, and that's with two I's. That's INDIGO, and then I think it's underscore music, and then also I have Indigo Vision. Then I have Indigo Lovely, which is my poetry page, which all those links can be found on my actual page. I also, you can, if you're on Instagram, under Indigo, remember that's two I's, 11 underscore 11, and that's on Instagram. And I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. All my other links is pretty much connected to my page, so you can definitely, and also I'm in WCBSC, so you can reach me in there as well if I'm on there pretty much often. I check in there every day, even if I don't write nothing. I'm always looking. That's like my
Yeah.
home away from home.
Mhm.
And also too, being from Los Angeles myself, and we all got to represent, right? So
Oh,
we're from the greatest city in the world,
Yeah.
Los
I mean, I
Angeles,
live there
California.
too. I'm not from there, but yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
I had to throw that in there,
Right, right. I wanted to say to those that have joined us in chat, um, if you have a project that is due out and you're excited about it and you would like to be interviewed and a guest on the program, hit me in DMs or hit Kinte. To my sis, thank you. You got out your bed to do this interview. I love you so much. Thank
Aw.
you.
I appreciate you guys for having me on. I definitely appreciate it. And like I said, the group, oh my God, if it was not for this group, it has, I'm not gonna lie, being in the writers group has not opened me up more polar because I've never even, honestly, I was not doing spoken word. Like I didn't start doing spoken word until being in this group. Like, they helped me build up the confidence to do spoken word. Like I would write poetry, but that would be it. I never really thought about sharing it or any of that until um, I got into the group. So the group has, I mean, I've created bonds, with people that I barely met a few years ago, and I have some of the closest bonds with them that I've had with people that I knew for 20 something years. You know what I mean? Like I really consider them, and like everybody that's on the album, my family. Like we all sisters and brothers. Like for real. Like if y'all fighting, I'm fighting too.
That's it. I like that. I like
So
that.
we have become, and I,
Yes.
I want to appreciate you for making the group, because the group, it is very, non-judgmental. You know what I mean? Everybody is welcoming. Everybody, is positive. It's just so positive being in the group, and the group is really, it can open doors, you know,
Mhm.
as far as your mind, for different and many different reasons. So I definitely encourage people that if you're in the group and if you're feeling like you are kind of shy or whatever, trust me, we all family. So feel free to post, talk, vent, whatever. Like everybody in there is family, and we don't judge. We accept everybody as is, and that's what I love about the group.
Right
And
on. Mhm.
yeah, both, for keeping the group going. Um, I appreciate you both for having me on here today as well,
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
and
you.
definitely for unspoken love, because it's definitely gonna be a good treat for y'all. Definitely, definitely.
Yes.
All right. So Imani, how can people get you in social media and such?
I'm just gonna give out two handles. Again, Instagram is Imani is love. IMANIIZLOVE, and that's AKA Urban Bush Sister. I don't want people to be confused. So that's Instagram. Um, Poetry at urbansister.com, and on Facebook, Urban Poetry Sister. And you can catch the jewelry and poetry, all of that on Instagram if that's easier. Thank you.
All right. And you can get me
I
at
definitely,
Kinte.
I gotta say this before I go. Like, Imani, like her jewelry, so classic. Like, y'all got to support my sister right here. Like, her
Thank
earring,
you.
look at the now her all that
Double
all
sided wood pot.
yes. And y'all
And I
have to
am
get
my ancestors' wildest dreams. Yeah, we are. We are.
right. I
All
mean, and
right.
this stuff is saying the
And
creative of the
stop bitching. Start a
earth.
revolution of love. Black love. Yeah.
All right. You can get me at Kinte F on Twitter, and you can get on our website, indieradio.org. And we'll be back not next week, but hopefully in the following week after that, we'll be back with another show. We'll make this more regular. But I want
Yeah.
to thank Lovely, and I want to thank you, Imani, so much for everything, all that you do,
My
and
pleasure. Thank you. Oh,
Okay,
and we'll catch you next time right here at
all right.
indieradio.org.
Safe weekend, everybody. Black love.